Great.
Woo! Knew we shouldn't have recorded. Motherfuckers, the trade deadline's going crazy. We're talking about what we want, and immediately we got to do it. So, if you're listening on audio, you're not gonna hear any of this. But, damn, the Sacramento Kings traded De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs, Zach Lavine to the Kings, poo-poo platter to the Bulls. I mean, I'm going to pull up the details right now. Honestly, less cap relief than I expected. The Bulls essentially get out of 1 year. I mean, so Trae Young is an expiring contract. Collins and Herter, they got to pay next year. So that's like $36 million they owe next year instead of Levine's $50. They get their own pick back, which makes it helpful for them to tank this year because they were worried they were going to lose their pick. But that's it. That's it. They got Zach Lavine for, partial garbage and a quasi pick. And then from the Kings' perspective, they lose De'Aaron Fox and they get not really great draft picks. It says 3 picks, but that Hornets pick is going to be a second rounder, almost assuredly. So they get the Spurs pick in 2027. Let me guess, that'll be the 28th pick in the draft. And the Wolves pick in 31, which may or may not be good. So they're essentially, it's going to be reported as 3 firsts and 3 seconds, but it's really 2 firsts and like 5 seconds.
Sam, I don't see anything here that's I don't see anything here that's like oh my God, you can't do it. You can't do it. Can't get rid of Trae Jones. It's a good point guard. Got a lot of talent. You can't get rid of him.
The Warriors clear this trade with contracts with Schroeder, GP2, and Looney's expiring contract, and then they throw in like Buddy Hield or Kyle Anderson, which are not expiring, and 1 first-round pick. That clears it. It's done. Done deal. That is a better offer. You throw Moody in there too. So you get Moody, a pick. You got to take on like Kyle Anderson, and you get a bunch of cap relief. That clears this.
And is Andrew Wiggins in the trade?
No. The one I'm talking about the non.
I know. I'm asking you, right? In that hypothetical trade, is he in the trade?
I don't think they want Wiggins. I think the Bulls wouldn't have wanted Wiggins.
2 years, right? Exactly. So based on what you're saying, which I agree with, you got it, dude. Like there's not the Warriors make this trade, and that's the frustrating part. Is when you look at these contracts the Bulls got back, they essentially got that first round pick back. And they only got out of 1 year of Zach Lavine, right? That last year of Zach Lavine, because they're still paying these guys next. It's not like they got out of next year and the year after that. Right?
They're on the hook for $36 million next year, as opposed to Lavine, who would have got, I'm just going to call it 50, but it might be 48 or 49.
Okay.
Let me double check. Sorry, 46 next year. So instead of the 46 next year, they're going to pay 35 to 36 to Zach Collins and Kevin Herter. And then obviously they're completely off the hook for the following year. So they get out of 1 year of Zach Lavine at like $49 million. They save $12 million next year, and they get their pick back. Like that's nuts. It's not a ton of cap relief, Like, is that really what moves the needle these days? Getting out of contracts 1 year early, because that's all it is. Because like Levine's better than these guys, It's just and like controlling your own pick. I guess that is valuable to them, but it's my thought on this for the Warriors is these fuckers better get Jimmy Butler. They better be doing bigger, because we just spent an hour talking about the LeBron and the KD and all this stuff. And maybe that plays, but they could have got a guy who would have fixed their offense, and they could have done it without giving up Wiggins for what that's worth. I still think I think that's a play-in team. I think Steph, Lavine, Wiggins, and the poo-poo platter of whoever's left is still a play-in team, but they could have got it. It would have moved them in a better direction. And it wouldn't have cost them their future. That's the part that's interesting to me. That's the part that's worth discussing. That all this, we can't make trades because we post Steph, bro. This wouldn't have taken post Steph.
Well, maybe the question is that how valuable is that Chicago pick? Because they're going to go and tank now, so they're going to have a good pick here. Hopefully, They're going to go take a run at Cooper Flag. How valuable is that versus the first round pick that the Warriors give up? I know Anthony Slater had said, or some of the reporters had said, there's a protected first that the Warriors are willing to, but like the protected first, it isn't as good as them getting their own first round pick back, right? But if the Warriors go and give them a pick in 2029, right?
To be clear, it's top 10 protected. The Bulls pick.
What is top 10 protected?
The one that they got back.
But the Bulls, right? But it's wherever they finish, they're gonna be there, right? Am I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so wherever, but it was previously top 10 protected, but now it's wherever the Bulls finish, they'll be in that realm. And actually, their record's not that bad, but like I'd imagine they're gonna tank now. So maybe that's the difference, Sam. Maybe that is, but I'm with you. It is like if the Warriors really wanted to make this happen, they would have made this happen. So I agree with you. It's hey man, it better be Jimmy Butler. Like there's got to be something that you've got to do. And I gotta say, dude, like you've been on the Jimmy Butler, you've been off of the Zach Lavine, and Sam sources don't miss. Sam sources don't miss. We'll see now. We got a couple days left. We'll see. Sounds like things are happening too, like earlier. Like maybe we don't have to wait for Thursday afternoon.
These dudes, Mark Stein is reporting right now.
Okay.
The Warriors did seriously explore trade constructs that would have brought Lavine and Vooch to the Bay, but they had Vooch at home.
Vooch is
opted for other trade pursuits is the part that's interesting to me. We'll see where this lands. This is like you and I have been talking about this. I know why you want Zach Lavine. I like Zach Lavine. Like I don't have a problem with this. Like I understand. My personal opinion is I completely understand why someone would want Lavine and Wiggins together. Offense, defense makes sense. The pieces fit. Then it's a question of can Steph, Draymond, and Steve Kerr pull that little extra out of them 100%. That those guys haven't shown their whole career, right? But like talent's not an issue anymore. You have the talent. They're gonna shoot for higher, and they are. I mean, Jimmy's a better
I'm not
player
laughing at you.
But I'm just, it's like one of those things where it's like, are they getting it done? Are they going to get it done? Because I can only go through so many of these deadlines where they're like, we tried for Paul George and it didn't work. We tried, like this sort of thing. Yeah, that's so. Like,
well,
isn't this the same thing as the last 5 deadlines?
Actually, I'm going to throw a little bit. The thing to me is this is actually really like the Giants more so than the last couple of deadlines. This is like the Giants going after Aaron Judge when it's like, hey, man, be serious. So the last couple of deadlines, it felt like the Warriors never really, at least outwardly. Like, right now, this is Mark Stein, who's one of the best reporters out there. All these reporters coming out and saying the Warriors are looking at making a move. Windhurst said the same thing. I don't think that the Warriors were this hot and heavy. Right, we got a Shams report a few years ago about like they're looking at OG Anunoby with like 10 minutes left of the deadline, and we're sitting here like, oh my god, and then it never happened. I think they almost have. It feels like, and this is the hopium. I know we just did an hour earlier, and there was big hopium on that pod. It does feel like when a tweet like this comes out and it says opted to focus on other trade pursuits, it does feel like it's Butler or bust. I don't see another name. Again, I have no sources. It just feels like it's a Butler or bust. And they said, and it goes back to what you just said, hey, we can do the cute stuff. We can get Lavine and we can get Wiggins, and we got it all. We got the offense, we got defense pulling together. That's great. Or you just find the way. You find the player that's Lavine and Wiggins. Like Jimmy Butler locked in, playing for a contract. is that good, right? He's as good as both of those guys, and that's probably what they're thinking. I mean, like that's probably what it's also cheaper for them to get off a Wiggins contract, right? This it, I don't know, Sam. It is kind
No,
of the
you're
same old
right.
shit
Like
this,
it's
right?
one of those things where like I'm extending grace right now. I'm being nice about this because the reality is the only thing I truly believe, I do believe they're trying. I do believe they're making a real effort right now.
They're trying.
I'm not convinced they're going to get it done, but I do believe they're not bullshitting the way they have previous deadlines. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like I'm buying that they want to make a real move.
Yep.
I'm just skeptical if they will. I'm skeptical if they will. And you know, that's kind of where I'm at with it. And I want to see how this whole thing plays out. Cause like right now, you know, first out, like the Luka thing, like we did an hour on it, we talked about it, and disappointing, but like I can't really blame them because I know there's like 28 other teams who are like, what the fuck? Why didn't we get a call?
Right.
You know, like
Right.
that sort of thing, right? This is a conscious decision. We're not doing this because we think we can do better, which is exactly what they did with Siakam, which is exactly what they did with their other moves. And, you know, it's cool if you land it. And if you don't land it, Andy and I get on here and could be like, Kirk, get the fuck off. Come on, man. Do something. I don't know why I always pick on Kirk. Actually, I do know, but that's mean. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like Mike, Joe, whoever it may be, like, enough. Do something, you know, enough of this. Like, I don't give a fuck what you put on your Notion doc saying like, we don't want Lavine, we want Butler, and then we're going to get Miles Turner, and the model says 62 wins and a title, but they didn't want to make a deal with us. Like, it's not a viable excuse. I need to see action, boys. Not. I need to see action. I don't need to see action Sunday at 6 p.m. I can be a patient man for 4 days. That's it. Yeah, 4 fucking days, dudes. That's all. Yeah. That's all I'm giving you. You have no more than 4 days. And then it's gonna be fucking a shit show for me.
Yeah. It's frankly, you get outbid in a trade or outmaneuvered in a trade by the Kings. It's got to be embarrassing. I will say though, Sam, maybe a little bit for the fans here that they'll like. The Sacramento Kings lose De'Aaron Fox, who's pretty good point guard. They got back pretty much nothing. Pretty much.
These picks they got back suck. I'm not gonna lie. Like, the only pick of that might be good is that 2031 Minnesota pick, just because, like, I don't know, Ant Edwards is probably gonna be a Laker then, you know. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might end up getting a good pick out of someone else. But like, I'm looking at this right now and I'm just like, the Charlotte pick is top 14 protected. I got news for you, buddy. They ain't making the playoffs. That's a second round pick right there. That Spurs pick, Fox will be 29 and Wemby will be 23 that year. I got news for you.
27
that ain't a lottery pick. That ain't a lottery.
27 pick, buddy.
No, you ain't even getting pods with that pick. You're getting you're picking number 29, something like
Jacob
that.
Evans, enjoy, brother.
I mean, hopefully you guys do better than Jacob Evans. Not that hard, but you know. Yeah, no, it's basically Lavine and a bunch of like mid-round picks. Yeah, it's like it's not like they're gonna get a bunch of top 5 picks to go get the next Tatum and Brown. You know, it's gonna be a bunch of. We'll see who we get at 27. We'll see who we get at 34. You know, like stuff like that, where it's like, you know, if you have good scouts, like it's worth something. But you know, you would think.
Go ahead.
Although the Kings now have Lavine and DeRozan. It's so funny to me. Just the Bulls. Cool. You are, and fuck, like Sabonis not that far off from Vooch. Like they.
Hey, come on.
I think Keegan's better than Patrick Williams, but if he continues not shooting, not that big a difference. Yeah, Russo is.
Come on.
I see the vision. There.
Keon Ellis, get ready to oh man. You know, you could be the Warriors. It's It's bad for the Warriors right now. They got to make a move, but you look at the Kings and what they got to do. It's like, man, how fast did that report of De'Aaron Fox asking out to him actually getting traded happen? Man, that thing moved quickly. So, and they didn't get much in return. And then, like, I don't for what Zach LaVine can do with the Warriors, the Kings actually don't need that. Like, do the Kings actually need Zach LaVine? I don't know what he really
they
does
have Malik
for
Monk.
them.
They have Malik Monk and DeMar DeRozan. I think LaVine's a better scorer than both those guys.
Sure,
but it's like, to your point, it's like, dude, how many guys who are going to get you 25, not really make plays for others and not defend do you need? You know,
it's like the Warriors need one of those guys because they don't have any of those. The Kings have too many of those guys. So it's like
send Malik Monk down to 80. I'll take him.
Yeah, he'll play the 4 by week's end if that's the
Are
case.
we going to be back online later tonight? Are the Bulls going to trade Vooch to the Warriors? Is Vooch coming home?
If the Warriors one trade this trade deadline is to get only Nikola Vucevic, I'll take it, but it would be disappointing, Sam. It would be. I'm seeing some Brandon Ingram smoke on the timeline. I know that's just bullshit on the timeline, but now that would be pretty funny.
You have Sam's guarantee. Well, I don't want to put that because
guarantee.
Well, actually, I'm okay. I'm okay being wrong on this one.
Mm.
I will be shocked if the Warriors trade for Ingram.
Yeah.
There's nobody Steve Kerr hates more in the NBA than Brandon Ingram.
Yep.
Maybe they should trade for him. Honestly, actually, I'm in favor of it, to be honest with you. But you gotta call balls and strikes at some point, right?
So. Well, the problem with that is even if they trade for him, Steve Kerr's not going to play him. So it's like, again, it's the same problem with Kuminga. It's like, why draft him? Kerr doesn't like the guy. Like, what do we do? What are we doing? What are we doing? Go. So anyway,
yeah,
we'll be back later tonight, I guess. We'll be back when the Warriors trade for Kobe White later tonight. I like that. That'd be fun. So we'll see.
Appreciate y'all. We'll be back.